concerts, they really are pretty. Did you show the piano? No, I haven't. You should, because those are very pretty. Really? Those are pretty. I do like them. It's fun and beautiful. Is there a point? Canner, look at Ron's ears. Aren't they pretty? Oh, very nice. No, it just slides through. And so basically, well, they're so long, there's no way they're going to come out. Unless if somebody comes and just literally shakes it. Sorry about canceling today. I just was going nuts. It was just one of those. And I was like, oh, you know, I haven't heard from you. So go to find out for Tuesday. Did you say you're out Monday? Monday. That's what I thought.
I went yesterday supposed to be with you with the surprise. They don't have it. She said,
Oh.
to the service, but they said it won't be ready till 12:30. So I said, well, I'm going to tomorrow. So I need to get bagels and I need to get gas. And actually, it was stuff that was really tasty.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
What a special evening. First of all, this is our Veterans Day Shabbat. Tampa is a community that has a long, long connection to our military, and Schaarai Zedek is very much a part of that connection. And we look forward to honoring our veterans later. Some are here in the sanctuary with us. Some are joining us via Zoom, and we'll see them later. And some are probably on our live stream, and we didn't get you on the Zoom, but we'll be honoring you as well. Tonight is also a very special evening because it has been probably about 20 months since our Kolenu choir has led us in a service. And what a joy to have you here. You guys didn't get to hear them practicing, but you're going to get to hear them leading us shortly. And Cantor Canizaro has shown us over the last year and a half that singing with a mask is really not so bad. And the duck-billed Kolenu choir is going to reinforce that this evening as they sing so beautifully leading us. And guys, it is so, so good to have you back on the Bima with us. Again, a welcome to everyone who is here this evening, whether you are in the sanctuary or joining us from home on one of our platforms, whether it's the website or YouTube or Facebook or Tampa Bay Community Network. We always say that when you bring our sanctuary into your home, then your sanctuary, your home becomes a part of our sanctuary. And it really, really is wonderful to have you all here as well. A few quick announcements. If you have a cell phone, of course you have a cell phone. If you haven't yet silenced or turned off your cell phone, this is a wonderful time to do so. I know there are exciting things happening on the Bima, but we do ask that there's no photography or video from the congregation during the service. The service is being recorded, and you can have access to that when you're done. So please keep phones away, be engaged in our service. The whole service can be followed from our screens, or if you're at home, the service will be on the bottom of your screen. If you're in the sanctuary, you're going to see a page number. And if you prefer to follow the service in your prayer book, then you'll be able to turn to that page. Whenever we're in the prayer book, the page number will be on the screen. If you're at home, you won't see that page number. But again, everything you need is going to be on the screen with you. Throughout our service, there are times where we ask the congregation to rise. If it's difficult for you to stand physically, please, 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 as always, feel free to remain seated. We know that you'll be rising in your hearts, even as you remain in your seats. Joining Rabbi Weiss, Cantor Canizaro, the Kolenu Choir, and me on the Bima today is Robert Jarash, our accompanist. Robert, you also bring so much joy and beauty to our service. And Robert has also shown over the last year and a half that playing piano with a mask on is really not such a big deal. So thank you for that. And again, a reminder for everyone in the congregation, you're doing a great job. We think we're close. We are watching those numbers, but again, our temple policy is that everyone has to have masks on, covering their mouth and nose. And we appreciate your doing what you can to keep our community safe. So it's also a special Shabbat because tomorrow morning, Zachary Mitchell is going to become bar mitzvah on our Bima. So at this time, Zachary is going to be joined by his parents, Rachel and John, and his sister, Rylan, as they lead us in the blessing over our Shabbat candles and our Kiddush.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge and others to live. Lead us to take the words which will speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Blessed are you, Adonai, God, sovereign of the universe, who follows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher nishanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu le'adlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen.
Praise you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who finding favor with us, sanctify us with mitzvah. In love and favor, you made the whole Shabbat our heritage as a reminder of the work of creation. As first among our sacred days, it recalls the exodus from Egypt. You chose us and set us apart from the peoples. In love and favor, you have given us your holy Shabbat as an inheritance. Praise you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat.
Amen.
Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of everything above.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei b'riah gafren. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. Shabbat kosho ve'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron le'maaseh bereishit, kivu yom tehillah le'nikra'ei kodesh, zecher le'tziat Mitzrayim. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
Say l'chaim to life and that's it. Yeah, try a little. Come on. Oh, that's all right. Yes, thank you so much. And Zachary, what a wonderful preview of your capable and compassionate prayer leadership tomorrow morning. We are so excited for you and your family. And we will begin with our opening song.
God bless America. While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us swear allegiance to
I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to bring that vision to life. We rise now for the Baruch our call to worship. God, you listen to prayer. Hear our prayers when they are worth listening to. God, you are one. Hear us when we are one people. Hear each of us when we speak as a whole person, a single one. God, you create. Hear us when we try to create a loving relationship or a better ground for a growing soul or hope. God, you know us. Help us to summon our souls to stretch with utmost love toward you. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto. And you may be seated. It is now my great honor to call up in honor of his bar mitzvah tomorrow morning, Zachary Mitchell, who will lead us in Ve'ahavta.
V'hayu הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום ושמעתם לבניך ודיברת בשבתך ובביתך ובברכתך ובשופטך ובקומך ושרתם לאור ידיך והיו לטוטפות בעיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Josh, our co-op beautifully done. We'll read together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Together, Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from work and was refreshed.
Shabbat, לעשות את השבת, לדורותם, לדורותם ברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל, את השבת, לעשות את השבת, לדורותם ברית עולם.
We now rise as we join together in the Amidah. Adonai sefata kinta uvia integilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu, Imoteinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, V'zocher Chastei Avot V'imavot, U'mevii Geula Mibnei Bneihem, V'leman Shemo V'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai,
Magid Avraham Bezrat Sarah. Ata Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayecha Kol Atara V'Hoshia. Mashik HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem. Mechalkel Chayim B'Chesed, Mechayeh HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim. Somech Nofrim V'Rofeh Olim. Umatir Asurim, Umechayeh Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Nichamocha B'al Gevurot, Umido Melech, Melech Benit Umechayeh, Umatzliach Yeshua. V'ne'eman ata l'hachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim l'kol yom yahalelu v'selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
And we are seated. We read responsively. For the blessings which you lavish upon us in forest and sea, in mountain and meadow, in rain and sun, we thank you.
For the blessings you implant within us, joy and peace, meditation and laughter, we are grateful to you.
For the blessings of friendship and love, of family and community, for blessings we ask of you and those we cannot ask.
For the blessings you bestow upon us openly and those you give us in secret, for the blessings we recognize and those we fail to recognize.
For the blessings of our tradition and of our holy days, for the blessings of return and forgiveness, of memory, of vision, and of hope.
For all these blessings which surround us on every side, O God of the universe, hear our thanks and accept our gratitude.
Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'el hodot. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving.
Shalom Ra Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Ra Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki atah hu melech Adon, Lechol hashalom. Ki atah hu melech Adon, Lechol hashalom. Shalom Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. V'tov beinecha levarech v'tamcha Yisrael. B'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom
It is in the presence of sacred community that we think of those who will not be with us as they lie on beds of pain, those ailing in mind, body, and spirit. On this Veterans Day Shabbat, we also think of those who have been wounded or hurt in the line of duty serving our country, those who bear wounds, physical and mental, who are still healing. For all of them, we pray for refuah shlema, complete healing of mind, body, and spirit. And so together, taking the names of the people we're remembering in our hearts, we sing our prayer of healing, Mi Shabbat. Now, what may be the first quiet moment all week, to listen to the prayer with it.
How nice is it to have our Koledu choir back with us? My goodness. We don't clap in services, but we're all clapping. Really phenomenal. And it's not just the return of our choir, even though I know we wish things were still different, and I think we're close. I think we're on our way. What we've learned is even while things aren't the way we want it to be, we can still come back and we can still do those things that we want to do. And it's not just the return of the Kolenu choir. For a year and a half or more, and even in the time that we've had in-person services, for a long time we had put a pause on our requirement. I don't know if everyone knows, but we have a requirement for both B'nai Mitzvah families and for those who are pursuing conversion to Judaism. We have a requirement to come to a certain number of services. And we haven't had that for a while. So even as I'm so delighted to see you all, I'm also delighted to see so many members of our B'nai Mitzvah class and so many members of our Introduction to Judaism class who are here this evening worshiping with us. And there is a phrase in Hebrew that, you know, there sometimes I think especially when you're new to Judaism, it seems like there are all these things that everyone knows that we don't know yet. And I know how frustrating that can be. So I'm going to teach you one phrase that really, no matter how often you're here, how everyone has learned this phrase. And it's Lador Vador, from generation to generation. And I'm seeing Rylan, Zachary's sister, who has brought so much spirit to our High Holy Day services the last 3 years, singing the Lador Vador duet with Cantor Canizaro from generation to generation. And as we think about Veterans Day, I've been thinking about generation to generation. And at least in this community, how what being a veteran has changed. What do I mean by that? Over the last 14 years, I've had the privilege of getting to know so many of our families at different stages of life. And as I look to that, I think it's called the hero generation. There are so many stories in this congregation of boys, and it was boys at the time, from all over the country who found themselves at MacDill Air Force Base. And the moms of Schaarai Zedek, our sisterhood, said, hey, there are a lot of Jewish boys down there. And we have a lot of daughters up here, and we wouldn't be so sad if they met one another. And there are so many families in this congregation who are part of this congregation, generations that exist because of those dances, because of matches that were made, because these boys who were coming home set their roots here in Tampa because of the daughters of this congregation that they met. And I can't get enough of those stories. I know that some of those stories are still with us. Some of those stories are memories. And we think of all of them tonight as we honor our veterans. And then I know that in the military today, there are so many of those young men and women who are going into the armed forces at young ages. We have them in our congregation and we pray for strength for them. We know how hard it is for their families to send them away, and also how much pride there is in knowing that they are defending what they know is right. But there's a different story that we see very often in our congregation today. And again, I think it's because of our connection to the Air Force Base and because of families that move here, or families that have that military tradition. And again, while we still have those young people, we see so many families where mom or dad are giving up their time to be with their families because they are serving our country in the way that they feel is the best way for them to serve. And to leave one's family, to make that sacrifice, knowing that it's not just the person who's serving, knowing that the entire family is making a sacrifice in order for that service to take place. You know, we talk about sacrifice a lot in our tradition and what it means to think about sacrifice in a modern context. That is a sacrifice that so many of us never fully understand, something for which we can truly be grateful. So as we honor our veterans tonight, before we kind of have this Schaarai Zedek tradition that I think we're probably at 10 or 11 years of the choir honoring our veterans. I know we missed it last year. I want to share a story of one of our congregant families. This was a surprise to me. Some of us were watching. It's always fun to watch the local news and see congregants. Most of the time, it's always fun. It's always fun. It could not be fun, but it's always fun for us to be watching the local news and to see a congregant or a congregant family that's done something special. And some of you may have seen this. You may have known their congregants. You may not have known. But to the Gonzalez Popco family, to Kyle, to Patrick, to Ava, and to Liam, I'll be honest, they're not watching tonight. They had other family plans, but I did have permission to share this. I know they're going to join us later on watching the rerun. And I hope that you all will find as much inspiration in this story of one of our congregant families as I do.
Students honored some of our country's bravest at a special Veterans Day event.
But as ABC Action News reporter Rochelle Aline shows us, that tribute came with a touching twist.
The kids at Browns Point Elementary School had Veterans Day off, but they couldn't leave without paying tribute. So in front of a crowd of proud parents and loved ones Tuesday, the kids' choir sang a salute to those who served and who currently do. Out of the corner of the room, we catch a glimpse of what appears to be a dad who's running a little late. But Patrick Gonzalez of the U.S. Army is actually right on time. Our soldiers honored us with their dutiful service. He's here to surprise this special singer, his daughter Ava, after being deployed in Kuwait. And after a few more songs, came the big reveal. It's something that understandably
I was surprised and happy and excited and
caught Ava off guard.
all of us together.
And her little brother Liam, also speechless.
I'm happy and excited.
Patrick tells ABC Action News he's grateful to see his family and celebrate Ava's birthday this weekend.
Just a relief, and it's amazing to see how much they've grown to in the last few months. It's just amazing.
His wife Kyle says it's a surprise that took a lot of planning and a bit of luck.
We weren't sure when he was going to be coming back until about a day or two before.
In Tampa, Rochelle Aline, ABC Action News.
So the Dor Vador, from one generation to the next, doesn't mean that each generation is the same. Each generation's story is unique. As we honor our veterans tonight and our active service personnel, we know that it's not just each generation that is unique. Each individual story is unique. Whatever it is that inspires them to make that sacrifice, to give to their country, to protect our country's values. So we offer our thanks tonight for that sacrifice, for that commitment, for that ability to inspire so many to say, what's important to us? What are we giving up in order to fight for those values? So as we offer our thanks tonight, the way we do this, and it's going to be a little different tonight because we have some folks who've joined us on Zoom. And even though we usually bring people on by branch of the military. Thank you. We're going to go ahead and bring all the Zoom folks on now, and I'm just going to have you raise your hand when it's your branch. And for anyone who's with us in the congregation, and again, Lador Vador from generation to generation, I know there are a lot of people we wish were here who we could be honoring. So even if you are not the veteran, if you are remembering a veteran, and you want to come on to the bima in their honor, we welcome you as well. So to the men and women of our congregation and those connected to our congregation who served our country, we offer thanks. Cantor and our choir will lead us now. Again, when your branch's song is sung, please come up and join us. If you can't make the walk to the bima, just either stand at your seat or remain seated proudly in your seat, as this is our chance to honor you.
And when you come up, just stand right here on this side or on this side if you like. And I'd like to call up all members of the Army to come on up.
Over hill, over dale, we have hit the dusty trail as our caissons go rolling along. In and out, hear them shout, counter march and right about, as the caissons go rolling along. Then it's high, high, ye in the field artillery. Shout out your numbers loud and strong. 1, 2, for wherever we go, you will always know that the caissons go rolling along.
And if you are a member of the Navy, come join us now.
Anchors away, my boys, anchors away. Farewell to college joys, we sail at break of day, 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 day. Through our last night on shore, drink to the fall, until we meet once more. Here's wishing you a happy voyage home.
And now we call up all members of the Marines.
From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we fight our country's battles on the land and on the sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marines.
And now for the branch that has changed its names more times than I can remember, the Air Force.
Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, soon to beat our thunder. And the boys, give her the gun, give her the gun. Now, down we dive, spouting our flame from under. Off with one terrible roar. We live in flame for the gallant flame. Hey, nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force.
The Merchant Marines, the class or the branch that actually delivers all of the supplies and makes sure that our boys and women, boys and girls, men and women here and overseas have what they need in order to protect our country.
Heave ho, my lads, heave ho. It's a long, long way to go. It's a long, long pull with our hatches full, braving the wind, braving the sea, fighting the treacherous foe. Heave submarine. We're the men of the merchant marine.
And last but certainly not least, we call up all members of the Coast Guard.
We're always ready for the call. We place our trust in thee. Through surf and storm and howling gale, high shall our purpose be. Semper Paratus is our guide, our fame and glory too. To fight, to save, or fight to die. Aye, Coast Guard, we're all for you.
Thank you, everyone.
Hey, don't go anywhere just yet.
Yep.
So for those who are joining us on the Bima, for those who have remained in your seats, and for those, see, I look up here, but then I'm looking away from you. So for those who are joining us from your living rooms, again, we honor your service, we honor your sacrifice, we honor each of your stories. We are grateful for the blessing that you have been to us, to our children, to future generations, the honor you have been to the memory of past generations, and we offer our blessing to you. So I'm going to have Rabbi Weiss join me. Rabbi Bernholtz, do you want to come up? Come join us. Jan, if you want to zoom out so that we can see all the folks who are up here too, and I'm going to have you guys come a little more toward the middle so that we can see you. I know you don't want to.
Sorry.
May God bless you and keep you. May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious unto you.
May God always show you a kindly face. May God watch over you and protect you. May God know the sacrifices that you have made and that you or your loved ones have made in the service to our country to assure freedom to all the generations. May those memories bring to all of you an everlasting peace. Amen.
Amen.
Now I can't help those on Zoom, but we know that there's no blessing at Schaarai Zedek without sweet Schaarai Zedek raisins. So thank you guys. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for being our blessing and letting us bestow upon you God's blessing. And for those on Zoom, I'll mail them. So while we're saying goodbye to the boxes, just a few quick announcements. First, again, I want to welcome everyone who's joining us, whether you're in the sanctuary or at home. If anyone has just happened to find us, maybe on Tampa Bay Community Network, maybe on YouTube, maybe on Facebook, I want to welcome you to Schaarai Zedek. If you'd ever like to learn more, anyone who wants to learn more, you can go to our website at www.zedek.org. And the other thing that I'd like to mention is how grateful we are that we're able to provide this service of streaming our services in so many different ways and making it accessible to so many different people. And if you're appreciative of that service, that we're able to come into your homes, I'd encourage you to visit www.zedek.org/donate, where you'll be able to help make sure that we're able to do this for generations to come, whatever it might mean. One day it might be it's not really I think holograms have passed. But one day you really might have a virtual reality Rabbi Simon in that would be scary. On that website, www.zedek.org, if you click on the e-news, you'll be able to see all our upcoming events. And for those in the congregation, we handed it out to you in our lovely Shabbat handout. I do want to point out just a few things. I hope you read everything. We're still a month away from bringing senior luncheon back. It is coming back. If you haven't seen the tent we have outside, we don't know if we'll be inside, if we'll be outside, but we are ready for anything. So we're really hoping to bring that back next month. But one more time this month, we have our senior afternoon getaway. We're going to the Florida Museum of Photographic Arts. That's a week from yesterday on November 18th. Whether you're a senior or not, if you are free on November 18th at 1:45 and want to join us, please give Lindsay a call and sign up for that. And then the scariest thing for me is on the back of the handout is Hanukkah. It's not Thanksgiving this year. It could have been. Thanksgiving is when the earliest possible Hanukkah matches up with the latest possible Thanksgiving. And we're getting the earliest possible Hanukkah this year, but it's not quite the latest possible Thanksgiving. So we're really close. But Hanukkah does begin while it's still November. Our Schaarai Zedek Sisterhood is going to get us ready with some shopping on Sunday. And we are ready. We have programming just about every single night of Hanukkah, and I hope you'll check out everything we have going on and come celebrate with us. Most importantly, be celebrating in your homes and be ready to bring this joyous time that I know so many of us need. So thank you again to our choir, to all of you. And now our service will continue with Aleinu as we rise and join together. There are stars up above, so far away, we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. So it is with people that we love. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. We live our days. These are the ways we remember. At Shabbat, we remember all those seats next to us where we know we wish our loved one was still with us. Also focus on the ways in which our loved ones are still with us. They continue to inspire us every day. Remember those who have recently been laid to rest: Rosalind Reed, Katie Slonim, Al Bernstein, Florence Irwin, Aaron Beck, Annette Schwartz, Barry Meyerson, and Sherman Tufel. We also remember those whose yard site, the anniversary of whose passing occurs at this time. Stanley Atkins, Jacob Ayers, James Baruch, Bertha Byler Sirota, Edward Borrow, Miriam Bruskin, Jean Buckholtz, Nina Cohen, Joseph Cohn, Christopher Cotton, Joseph Dobrzansky, Connie Douglan, Dorothy Eliasberg, Melvin Eller, Ellen Embry, Morris Engelman, Becky Ferlita, Edward Flom, Celia Francisco, William Friedman, David Goldman, Harold Goodstone, Milton Greenberg, Erwin Grossbart, Margaret Hammer, Jack Hannaful, Hannah Hannaful, Albert Haupt, Edmund Hirsch, Joseph Hughes, Edith Kasser, Jerome Kurtz, Edmund Lauder, Nita Lees, Fred Leopold, Arlene Levin, Rabbi Theodore Levy, Ben Lionel, George Luster, Michael Manowitz, Florence Marcus, Lance Neighbor, Marcel Osinski, Max Osinski, Seymour Rich, Carol Rosen Gray, Janet Sabian, Harry Spitz, Millie Sternthal, Julia Stillman, Saul Strauss, Bella Tresser, Mildred Weichselbaum, Saul Weil, Jack Weinberg, Sharon Wexler, Mayo Wood. In addition, we remember all of our loved ones who are no longer with us, who, though unmentioned, are always in our hearts. We remember those veterans who are no longer with us. Of course, we remember those who didn't get the chance to be veterans, those who lost their lives in service of our country. Zichronam Libracha, may their memory always be our blessing as we hold them all in our hearts. As we rise, joining together in Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish, thanking God for having shared such special lives with all of us. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrah hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'yomechon, v'chayei b'chol beit Yisrael, v'hagalah u'bizman kariv v'hibru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach, ve'olam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. Yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal shmei v'kudashah v'rechu. Elam yimkol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata d'amiran ve'alma v'hibru amen. Yehei shlama rabban v'yishemai. V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'hibru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromah, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'hibru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved, as we say together. And our closing song.
America the Beautiful. So please remain standing as we sing together.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of gray, for purple mountains, majesties, above the fruited plain. America
Oz le'amo yitain Adonai varech et amo v'shalom. May God give strength unto this people, blessing this and all people. As we give thanks and gratitude to those who serve, remember our most important prayer. There be a day in which no one needs to serve in that way. A day in which all of us are able to see the good in one another, to live in peace with one another, that we all may live in that world of peace. As we say together, Shabbat Shalom.
Great job, everyone. Thank you, Jeff.
I wonder how long we're going.
Cookies coming
Remember, we're just trying to get it. We're great. Classic. Patriotic.
Absolutely. Well, it's fun, but just think about all right, well, safe
together, you know. Come, brothers and sisters, let's sing. Hine matov manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
Come gather round and hear the song. If you're the wandering kind, 'cause you can make it alone, but just so you know, we leave no one behind. Our mothers and fathers who weathered the storms grew strong in the trials of their times. So we brothers and sisters, the door by door, carry on with this song in our lives. Hine matov manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. 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 Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. We'll sing out this song for years to come, in a story without an end, for how good it is to be among our brothers and sisters and friends. Ariyu ladonai kol haaretz. Ariyu ladonai kol haaretz. Ariyu ladonai kol haaretz. Breaking to song. Yitzchu ranenu, ranenu. Yitzchu ranenu, tameru, tameru. Break into song. Break into song. tov Adonai leolam chazdo. Ki tov Adonai leolam chazdo. Ki tov Adonai leolam chazdo. Break into song. Ariyu Adonai for haaretz. Ariyu Adonai for haaretz. Ariyu Adonai for haaretz. Break into song. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן. together, you know. Come, brothers and sisters, let's sing. Hine matov manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. 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 Come gather round and hear the song. If you're the wandering kind, 'cause you can make it alone, but just so you know, we leave no one behind. Our mothers and fathers who weathered the storms grew strong in the trials of their times. So we brothers and sisters, the door by door, carry on with this song in our lives. Hine matov manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. 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 Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. Yai da 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 da. We'll sing out this song for years to come, in a story without an end, for how good it is to be among our brothers and sisters and friends. La 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 la.